Funny. Good evening and welcome to the March 11th meeting of the Daytona Beach Beachside Redevelopment Board. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Amy Pyle.
Here.
Gary Kalaopoulos.
Here.
Tom Caffrey.
Here.
Helen Humphrey.
Here.
William Biddorf is still waiting for him, so. Vernon Weatherholt.
Here.
Laura Murphy.
Here.
And Tim. Thank you.
Yes.
Present.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody rise and join me for the pledge. To the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next item is approval of the minutes, and if everybody's had a chance to look at them, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from February 11th meeting?
So,
Helen.
Helen?
Uh-huh.
Motion? and a
Second.
Second from Tom. Any discussion? No? Do we do public comment on minutes? No? Okay, I don't want to get yelled at.
That's later.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, and the next item is the Meridian barrier report. I guess we have additional information that we didn't have at the last meeting, so.
So
Thank
Ann
you,
Ruby, reporting as part of city staff. So the last meeting, we're not happy with the allocation of the $208,000, where the Main Street CRA was expected to pay $100,000. So you approved 200. And so we went back and decided, let's try to allocate the money based on the actual Meridian barriers, how they're going to expect to use them. So we worked with CRA department, Parks and Rec, to create a list of all the events in the CRAs. Then we handed that to the police and said, and this was for 2025, and the assumption is that the same, maybe not the exact same days, but the same events will occur for 2026 and going forward. And when you divide it out and you create a percentage, so that the Meridian barriers were thought of in Meridian barrier days. So one Meridian barrier deployed for 10 days is 10 Meridian barrier days. So of the total Meridian barrier days, 924. And when you get to the expected use as a percentage, the Main Street contribution is about 55.2%. Of that, of 208,000 is $114,915.96. But that is based on how they expect to deploy the 36 barriers that they're going to use. So that's what's up for your consideration tonight for approval. But it is based on how they're expected to be used. And so if you have any questions, let me know.
Anybody?
Yeah.
well,
Mike, your mic, hit your button.
yeah.
No, your button.
But
Okay. I'm able to speak to it since I was in the middle of it for 10 days. And I have a parking lot, so I saw where they were implemented. The reason I voted no wherever it was on last meeting was because I did want to know more about. They're definitely effective. I did argue with the people who had set them up. I still think one at a location is not enough because anyone in a car can drive around them, and I still think we need two. And to perfection would be a chain between the two so that someone, this is motorcycle dust still that I have.
Right.
I think that it still would be truly effective because if a car did manage to barrel down any one of the streets, they would be stopped for certain by hitting two, which are chained together, which would then dig in with the way they're constructed and flip whatever vehicle. Certainly on the entrance to Main Street from both ends. They need 2. I loved the fact that they did not allow cars down. It just makes no sense on a place where there's bikes. It's like you're looking for a lot. I did call the city bus 2 different years saying you're looking for trouble to have buses coming down. But it was from my perspective, it was a very successful bike week. People did get hurt, but that does happen when you have people who drink and are on a bike. But our parking lot had no problems at all. The Christian motorcyclists run it. They don't let people get on a bike. They really do take care of people, and but that's my observation, that at the entrance to Main Street, both east and west, there needs to be 2.
Well, the way they've got this distributed is the police have determined they need 30 Meridian barriers to close off Main Street, to close off Main Street for an event. And there are a few events like Bike Week, I think the Art Festival was the other one, and Biketoberfest, where they need the Meridian barriers in 2 places. So in that instance, they would put 20 in the Main Street area and 16 in the other area. So on those events, and perhaps then they would have to borrow if they wanted to get up to 30.
Sure.
But that's 30. So what I'm saying is they've been deploying about 18. So, no, 18 or 20, I forget, I have to look at my spreadsheet. So when they borrow them, because they just can't borrow enough.
Yeah.
But they'll have more to deploy when they own them. So that's where we are. Any other questions?
Anybody else? I have one thing. I just want to thank staff and Ann for getting all these numbers together, because it was, it's quick turnaround. 1 month, we asked about it. We got the information. Would have been great, if when we first placed the vote, because I don't think we're voting on anything today or any changes, are we?
No,
No.
just paying more.
This is information. Oh, so these are the numbers that we are going to
Yes.
move ahead on?
116.
Okay.
114.
114.9, okay, because our
115.
portion went up a little bit, and looking at this, downtown went up significantly, and Midtown came down a little bit. But when you think about it, the usage of it is more important, I think, than just basing it on, just randomly saying the dollar amount. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
If anybody has any problems with it.
No, it's definitely more equitable on this, and there's more information there. I will say that on the Meridian barriers, there's a few events in there that aren't going to happen this year, whether that matters or not. They are in there on the Main Street thing, but those are events we had last year, but they're not going to happen this year. So whether that matters or not, it's still there.
Do you feel like it's based on a year that it was very abundant in, like
So
typically
last
it's
year
gonna
we
be
were
less?
trying to do events every several months together, and it was very difficult to get that done as much as we would have liked to do as the merchants go. So we're going to try to do 2 or 3 really close events together and get those done. Right now, we're probably just going to go for Light Up Fest at the end of the year. We might try to get one more in. Been talking with Caitlin about a sesquicentennial.
Yeah.
Been talking with Caitlin about that potentially happening in July. So those might be the only 2 events that we're guaranteed on the street this year for our organization. Al Smith's still, I believe, doing all of his.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, the idea is for it to become more busy.
Yeah.
So this is a good investment, in my opinion.
I just have one thing to add. I'd love to remove my no vote because I just wanted more information, and my feeling also is wherever there is a huge event where people are going to be in the street along with vehicles, that we should loan them wherever it's needed. But definitely when there's a huge crowd, then that. And some of the smaller events, people are on the sidewalk. They're not in the street, and so it's not such a target. One last thing. All records were broken at least once on my property, which was amazing. they were here from everywhere. I mean, you can't name a country. Well, you could name one or two, but it was amazing. The parking lot broke all records, and so people were here.
I felt really busy.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this something that you want to vote on? Is this a voting item or no?
No, apparently not.
No? Okay.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you, Ann.
you.
Okay, item 6 is the Daytona Grande utility reimbursement, which I need to understand. I don't know what to do about that.
Good evening, Angela Armstrong, Project Manager for the Beachside. Before I start with the staff report, this is for information only. You don't have to vote on this item because this agreement has been approved in 2013 by Commission. But since there is a reimbursement from the CRA, staff thought that it was a good idea for you to have the information. So I provide you with a staff report. You all have a copy, and I'm just going to basically say what happened, a timeline, what happened, how did we get here. So in 2013, an agreement between Photo Group and City of Daytona Beach and the CRA was approved by resolution number CRA 1303 and 1379. In 2016, there was a first amendment to the agreement to assure that the infrastructure improvement identified in that agreement were completed before issue the CO. In 2020, a second amendment extending the construction deadline to 18 months after the effective date of the first amendment. Then in 2021, third amendment allowing for the group to receive reimbursement for the public utility improvement in advance, and that already happened. And in 2025, there was a fourth amendment to define and include the beach access improvement in phase 2 as completed projects. Now for the group has submitted the cost for the beach access improvement, and the agreement says that we have to reimburse that those improvements. The cost of the improvement is $732,969, and that money is available in the Main Street CRA. And if you have any question about the agreement or the project is completed. We have Jessica Gao and Rob here if you have any question for them.
Anybody? Nope.
And you all have the packet with all the information. Okay?
Sounds like done.
Okay.
All right. Did you guys want to tell us anything? No. Okay. Just all right. So item number 7 then, utility wrap concepts. We got pretty pictures.
Okay. We have included 2 concepts, moods, in your agenda packet for utility boxes wrapping project. One concept are the iconic places and the other one with flowers. We are requesting a recommendation from this board to choose one concept. Once a direction has been chosen, we will proceed with sourcing appropriate photos and coordinating with a printer to ensure the proper sizing. That's concept number 1, iconic places, and then we have flowers. We don't have the right to use the flowers yet because we don't know which one you're going to choose. If you choose flowers, then we need to get the rights to use those.
Okay. Any questions?
Rights to flowers?
To the
The
photos.
rights to the photos.
Yeah, you have to have royalty-free photos or.
We cannot use just a picture from Google.
You can't
because
just create your own AI image with it for?
No, we don't want any.
we-
No.
Oh, okay.
We need high resolution.
You can,
Okay.
you pay a few bucks for a good picture. It's not much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
it's not much.
No, but we need high resolution
Absolutely,
photos.
absolutely.
And we don't want somebody to say, I took the picture
Sure.
and I want me to pay
Yeah.
you.
Oh, it's wrong
So-
to do that, yeah.
What
So,
about
but we handle that.
Gary and I? You want to say it?
Yeah, I should have mentioned it before, but
Mike,
these are very nice.
yeah.
I like the location photos more than anything, actually. If we could have included something a little historical, it's after the fact now, and I was just thinking what we could do to make up for that is if we eventually do some advertising on the pier, we can put a certain section about the cars racing on the beach, the motorcycles racing on the
Yeah.
beach. But this is perfectly fine for not to complicate it anymore. This is, I like these.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Not that it matters. I especially like the fact that the ocean is in the background and natural flowers that grow here. And if you can get the pier in there too, I mean, but I'm happy with anything as long as it's not. Okay.
Well,
Are we gonna vote on preference? How are we gonna do that?
Yes,
we'll do a little
because we
count.
need to choose one concept. It's either or.
Well, to add one thing, don't hold it against me. Years ago, I used to work for Mr. France over at the racetrack, and possibly what we could do is we have lots of things in this city. We have racing, we have Harley, we have all these different things. Why couldn't we get sponsors to, like, from NASCAR and different people to that nature, pay for this stuff for us, and we approve that, and actually brings money back into the city at the same time, and it makes us a partnership with NASCAR, because in the past in other places in Indianapolis and other properties I have in other states, that's what I do. Something to think about.
okay.
It becomes a positive that way for us rather than taking out of our budget and costing us money. It makes us money now. And now we're in a partnership with a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I think it would be a smart move to think about.
Thanks. Tim?
So the ones that we have in front of us, I mean, I like the location ones, but the flower ones, if we get graffiti on them and stuff, it's gonna be tougher. Stuff's not gonna stand out as much because there's a lot of color stuff going on there. The location ones are great, but Johnny was here across the bottom of the ocean, the one like backside of the Hilton. So I just think for longevity, the
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tim, and I'm in favor of the flower ones, obviously, but part of that is also like the location of these boxes. I mean, there are probably a few of them that are on, like, I don't know if they're like on the boardwalk or, are there ones that are on the boardwalk? Or,
It's basically Main Street, ISB. We
Right,
have
right.
several on Main Street and ISB.
So they're in locations where a little hedge or a pot of flowers would look attractive, and that's why, my personal preference, I'll be honest, is the flowers. So when we're all done commenting, we'll do a little vote. Did you want to say something, Laura?
I was just going to say I like the flowers too. It adds a pop of color versus it just being the blue sky and blue ocean. Although I like blue sky and blue
Of
ocean.
course we love the
Yes.
All right, so how do we want to just go, we'll just go around. So just call everybody and take down their flowers or locations.
Okay, no, hold on a second.
Tim?
Right. I'm gonna start with Tim.
Tim?
the plants.
Of complicating things. It's the flowers.
It says, it's entitled
Well, I just
plant
looked down when it
photos.
was
Yes,
titled.
because there's palm trees there too.
Is
It's Laura.
Flowers.
there any way I could make a motion to try to bring that in for the fact is that we could do something to generate money for the city? That to get sponsors, like from the NASCAR and such, or is that not on the table?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Down the road, right now, we need to
Yeah.
go
Yes,
ahead and
sir.
start this
Yeah.
project.
I'm
Maybe
with
that's
the
something we do
plants.
later.
I'm with the plants,
Yeah.
because I agree with my colleague to my left. He said something very smart, because over time, I've noticed as I try to clean things up, there's graffiti finds its way to it. It's going to be easier to cover up with the plants. Good point, Tim.
yeah.
Helen.
And the,
And Madam Chair, when we start talking advertisement and charging and who's in control, you know, Kira's gonna, it's gonna be a lot. It's not gonna be.
It gets complicated.
Exactly.
It gets complicated.
She's the one to blame.
I think
So,
Then it's gotta go through a whole RFP process.
it's not that easy.
Everything's complicated when you make money, but it's best to make money.
well, one of the things that we had proposed, the advertising on the pier, you know, or murals with advertising in it is gonna, you know, that's kind of that type of thing. So you could appeal to some of your bigwig friends to come and, you know, sponsor a mural or something.
No,
so.
they're not our friends. Hopefully, they're friends with the city. Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully.
Or people that you know. I meant contacts, bigwig contacts.
Hello, Miss Helen?
Well, I'd be open to put some kind of ad up on the pier, depending on how much those things cost. But I like
Which one?
the fact that we're famous for our ocean and flowers, natural flowers that grow here anyway. So I want a combination of ocean in the background and flowers.
Okay, so like the flower pictures with the ocean on there is your favorite. Will there probably be will there be an assortment of them? Or are we gonna pick one? That was a
Well,
question.
the direction is to pick one, but if you all agree, we can mix and match the utility boxes.
Maybe have
with-
3 different ones or.
I think that Amy was saying, are we just picking one picture of one
concept.
flower?
No, one concept today.
Oh, okay.
Either the flower or the
Yes.
iconic places.
Yes, okay. So, and my vote is plant photos.
Yeah, but Helen, we're undecided.
Helen said flower.
Well, I do like the bottom middle,
So the flower,
but
We'll try
I
to
can be moved around. But that's my first choice. Yeah.
Flowers.
Yeah,
The flowers.
the flower with the ocean in the back.
Mr. Byrne?
Oh, he's not a voting member. He's just here. He's just here to make us look good.
Flowers.
Gary?
Flowers.
Didn't mean to beat you into submission.
That's anonymous.
Something's better than nothing.
Well, that's great.
Stand here.
Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, people are gonna go nuts when they see these. This is gonna make a lot of people really happy, I think.
Yes.
It's a great, you know, like talk about reducing blight or beautifying the area. It's
Yeah.
kind of it's a pretty, you know, I know it's not simple, but it's a simple choice to do it, you know. So, thank you. All right, now staff reports. You don't get to sit down yet.
So, item number 8, I have the Daytona Beach Police Department report. We had 793 calls for service, 149 written reports, 81 citations, 21 felony arrests, misdemeanor arrest 31, FIC cards 102, courtesy cars 21, tow vehicles 21, traffic stop 69. District 2 addressed the ongoing quality of life issues during this reporting period and handled several see-click fix complaints that were submitted over this time. Patrol made 18 proactive arrests during this reporting period for quality of life issues, which remains the major complaint in the district. Officers are preparing for increased tourist activity and preparing for the mandates for the spring break and Jeep Beach. That's conclude the report for
What was the period? Was that the month of February?
Yes.
Or, okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Oh, yes.
Is it possible that they can give us an idea, is it trending up or down? Just to see, you know, are we making any positive improvements?
Okay.
Yeah, we're asking because he manually had to do those numbers.
Yeah, maybe he could look back
Because
to
that other
last
system
year.
isn't working anymore, and so he's manually doing that.
But we'll ask, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
She couldn't be here, but if something changed on her schedule, she will be the one doing the stats report.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know where this fits in, but I just want to say the police were so friendly. They really were. And I told a number of them that I was really proud of them. And at one time when I was chilly, I do have a police jacket at my store. I had to put it on because I didn't bring a jacket. And I went out and warned them, please do not arrest me. I am not impersonating, but I am cold. And they laughed and said nobody would attack Helen Humphreys. So anyway.
I had a question. What's quality of life issues?
If somebody breaks in, just all the traffic stops, noise, complaints, all the issues that affect your quality of life, noises, if you have a neighbor that has loud music, those kind of.
Okay, next item, Main Street and South Atlantic priorities.
Yes, and this is also just information for you. We have sent in our workshop, we provided these priorities to the City Commission. And these are the list of priorities that they are going to decide on. So what we did was we recommend staff priorities and the ones that you chose, and we incorporate in one page and give it to them. We're still waiting for some of the commissioners to reply to a survey that we sent out. We have someone new, yeah. So we have only 4 answers, and we're waiting for the rest of the commissioners to let us know which one is the priorities for them. Once they select and completed the survey, then we're going back to a workshop setting where we're going to let them know the results and just explain what that priority entails.
Are these numbers accurate numbers for
It's just
today?
estimates.
Right, but they're not old estimates, they're
No, it's estimates. And some of those projects are already, in place. The boardwalk extension, for example, they approved the design and we're working on that. We're just waiting for the set of plans to be completed so we can move forward with that. And the same with the Main Street project. We are in the design phase. If it is a priority, we're moving forward quicker. That's where we are.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, go ahead. I'll
I
add
didn't
something.
read in depth about the monument in the front. Where's that supposed to go? That's somewhere on the boardwalk, right? The motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
That's phenomenal looking. That is what we need more of in Daytona. Some reference back to our history.
Yes,
Because we
yeah.
do not touch upon that.
Yeah.
I don't think Angela's been part of
No,
the
I
conversation, but
not.
I was. But
No.
there has been some conversations
Yeah,
of trying to find a place near the band shell.
yeah.
Yeah.
To place
That's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed, it's very cool. It's a good selfie spot.
Cool.
Everybody will want to go see it.
And that's big now, the
Yeah.
selfie spots.
Madam Chair, I did want to add to what Angela's saying. So you made the presentation at the City Commission with some priorities, and what Angela's done is she's divvied out those priorities that you presented to the respective departments, code enforcement, public works, and I believe there was another department that was involved.
Communications that is
Yeah,
still
for the
there.
so that they can figure out a way to satisfy.
And planning.
Yeah, and planning. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is, it's an excellent list. It's awesome to see it all kind of, in
Coming
one
together,
place.
yeah.
I enjoyed reading through it. It's kind of exciting. There were a couple things, the street sidewalk ambassador team, is that clean, like the cleaning people?
It is.
People
like
to
a
pick up and clean?
Clean team.
Clean team, okay. And then the boutique hotel at 29 South Ocean Avenue, is that something we knew about? I guess, right next to Senior Frogs, is this gonna be?
That's the vacant lot that we
Right.
acquired. And I mentioned last meeting, I believe, when we were discussing the construction company.
Yeah,
we mentioned the 29 South Ocean Avenue.
Okay, I guess I
And
went.
that's the goal.
Okay. It's such a small
We
lot.
we don't have a suitor.
Right,
But
it's an idea.
It's just an idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, to put
Yeah.
that there, okay.
That's the goal.
Interesting, okay. Anybody else? It's nice to see some of these already getting checked off or at least worked on, and then there's lots more for us to do, so. Will?
I'm excited you put up here about the Daytona Beach new pier. It looks like a huge number, though. It's kind of intimidating, but it's not too bad for what it's going to bring back, in my opinion. As I'm looking at Gary right when I say it. So, you know, I kind of see it because I went around Main Street and I walked around quite often and talked to people coming in for the events, and I have I do a lot of parking from between here and DeLand. I have places in DeLand also. And I actually got to go by this young lady's shop. She has beautiful jewelry in there. And, you know, that pier would really, really improve the way visitors come to our city and view us as having a legitimate boardwalk like they do in some other places like Ocean City and other places. I really, you know, I see the light, Gary. I see what you were trying to say. I went and did some stuff. I went back to Ocean City. I had to fly over there for work, and
It's amazing.
yeah, it is, and it's amazing over there, and it's amazing what it's going to do here. But the other thing is kudos. You'll usually hear me complaining at you all. You know, I don't mean to, Ken, but great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Angela. Thank you, that was good.
And Madam Chair, I want to mention, since you brought up the boardwalk, the pier, we know it's a big ticket item, but it's not something that we would commit to the funding the first year. This is a 2-year, 3-year process to generate the revenue. And besides, it'll take probably, you know, almost a year to design, and then you got to do permitting. And so that gives us time to generate the revenue.
It's spread out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's one step at a time. You know, that's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. You can't eat it all at once. So great job.
Thank you for that. So, public comment. Do we have any public comment? John has 3. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I guess he's just gonna have to make all his public comments under number 9.
And then I have a question for him.
You're the sole
man.
speaker. No?
You didn't have one, Shade?
Did you have one? No.
Okay.
Thank you.
John Nixon, 413 North Grande Avenue. I wondered why when I put in public requests it was not adhered to. When you vote, normally the public can speak when you vote. I put in an item for 7 and I was not called upon.
Oh, no.
So I don't know whether you did not receive it or she just handed it all to you at the same time.
We picked which.
That's a
it wasn't-
vote.
was
It's
it
a vote.
really Was it a vote?
Yes. She said
Or we counted.
several times you have to pick, you have to choose, and that's a vote.
Sorry about that, John.
What do you think, Kira?
I didn't.
It was an informational, the staff, the board giving the staff their preference. It wasn't a hardcore vote. I mean, if you would like to hear Mr. Nicholson's comments, and then you can always do a motion. Since we do have it narrowed down to the flowers, somebody can make a motion for the flowers, and then you can do an official vote.
Yeah, would you like that, John?
Not at this point.
Okay.
You've already voted. And plus, you voted, and the comments that I would have made came out, graffiti came out, the touch of color, because we're losing all our color down A1A. They're taking all the trees out. We have to do something to replace that. Several things. One, the Meridian barriers. I'm glad we have information. I would have liked you to have voted on that because there's a change in numbers. It's an increase, $17,000 increase. So whenever you change in numbers, it's wise to let them know which one of the two would you prefer, okay? Because you already now voted you only want 100,000. So 78.
That's what it was.
Oh, from the last time. Okay, so, but if you're going to change numbers, I think the public, not only the public, but the commissioners should know. The photo group, I would have liked to have made a comment on their landscaping. Their landscaping has now died, not from the frost. It's just not there anymore. If you look between the two buildings, it's not there. They have a couple of palm trees and it's gone. The palm trees in front of their building on A1A, most of them have died. The problem around the garage. So we have to make sure they maintain, if we're going to give them money, make sure they're maintaining the building. The wraps, again, we talked about. The financials, I really wish you guys would look at your financials to see how much you have, because the idea that you have the ability to go to City Hall and request the public has nothing to do with you sitting here looking at how much money you have. How much money can any of you tell you was raised last year for the CRA? What was your debt from the CRA? You should all know that, right? You all know an automatic $2,400,000 comes out every year because of the buildings that the loans we have, right? We get to spend the rest of it. Now, there's a gentleman that comes before the city and the county who's upset because how the money is being spent in the Blue Road. He says, here's all this money and it's all going to salaries. So do you know how much is going to salaries? Do you know how many people you employ? Because somebody made a mistake one time when I asked that. They gave me the true figures, and there were 3 employees that are being paid out of CRA funds that were not in the CRA, which is a no-no, all right? So those things you should be able to see. Yeah. We rented or leased property behind Cruisin' Cafe for a parking lot, and we were paying $25,000 a year to lease the parking lot. We were making $32,000. The difference should have stayed in the CRA, and it was being spent elsewhere. So those kinds of things you guys should know about. Boardwalk extension, it's now, 5 years on the Beach Street extension? They're in the design stage. The last time I checked 2 years ago, they were at 50%. So when is Beach Street going to be done? If it's going to be another 5 or 10 years, how long then are you going to have to wait for this extension? So that's something you should look into. The motorcycle, I double checked out there. That motorcycle is deceiving. You're not going to get the motorcycle. You're getting a black slab, a solid black slab. Is that really what you want? I would say a very solid motorcycle like that one, but where people can climb on and not hurt it.
Yeah.
Where they can take pictures. A black slab of just...
Is that going back to the museum?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going back to the museum. You're getting a black slab.
That's it.
So that's what you're going to be seeing, and I'm not quite sure that's what you were expecting. And the pier, you have money in reserve, all right? It's popped up several times over the years when they were redoing Orange Avenue. Midtown was very shocked when Jim told them that he wanted to use $1 million of their reserve to help pay for Orange Avenue. Nobody knew they had $1 million in reserve. So how much do you have in reserve? Is it 5 million, 10 million, 15 million? What do you have? Secondly, the ECHO grants are now up like $5 to $10 million. That would help you tremendously in getting your pier and realizing you can get it sooner than you thought. All right? So I think these are the kind of things that you should know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Madam Chair, I want to, just for the record, so that people at home don't think that we gave John any information. So whatever John was just indicating that there were staff people working in one particular CRA and got paid for another CRA, it wasn't on our watch. We know how to make sure the money is paid out of each CRA and it stays in the CRA. The other thing too about the reserves, the city cannot put any money in reserve based on the state statute. So we don't with CRA dollars, we don't put any money in reserves. All of our money is appropriated to a project.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
On that, Ken, on that appropriation, are we able to appropriate out of the $13 million that we have, are we able to appropriate some of that money and earmark it for like the pier, or and put it aside so it's already there and it's not part of the pool? Is that something that's possible?
Well, see, the city commission approves the budget every year. And so if the pier is not part of that, then we have to go back and ask the commission to appropriate the money for the pier. Okay. All the money that we receive each year is appropriated to some project. It has to be. You can't put money in reserve, because if you put money in reserve, the state legislature says you need to give it back to us. And so we appropriate it to a particular project. Now, granted, there are things that come up and we move money around. Meridian Barriers is one of them. Meridian Barriers was not in the budget. And so we had to take the money for the Meridian Barriers out of professional services. It's there. It's just that some of the projects that we had allocated out of that line item, we won't get it done this year because we put money in, we took the money out to pay for some Meridian Barriers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, just a side note on the pier thing. Has anybody ever spoken about retroactively going back to FEMA to try to get money for the pier? I mean, we should have done that when we lost multiple portions of the pier back in the old days. Flagler didn't have to pay anything for their pier.
I think Kira could talk a little bit about that where we're fighting
the
FEMA.
city has made claims for the piers. FEMA is just moving slowly in allocating funds, and the likelihood of seeing funds over time, diminishes because of the federal revenues and federal stuff. So
what happened with Flagler? How did they get it so fast?
I don't know. I don't know the Flagler circumstances, but the city has made, and we have received reimbursement for the repairs that we have made on the existing pier. How Flagler probably received a grant to replace their pier, which is different than FEMA reimbursement for past damages.
Because I think FEMA gave them $20 million.
It was probably a grant. It's separate and aside from reimbursement for repairs for damages. But if you look at when items go before the city commission that were related to the pier, when you see the funding source, some is general fund, and then some of it would say, anticipated FEMA reimbursement.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Question?
Sorry, go ahead.
So if we're going to talk about grants, have we, are we applying for grants, since we can just do that?
Well, I can tell you right now, like the Angela mentioned the boardwalk. Well, our staff has been working with the county to get help from them to help, pay, do the boardwalk. So, and it's going to be some form of a grant. The park with the Echo grant, we've gotten money from them. So, and although Angela and I, we don't make the decisions on the pier, but we do have grant consultants who are looking at how much money can we get if the commission decides to approve it for the pier. So we're gathering that information already.
So we can't just apply for grants?
Not until it's a project.
Okay.
The commission has to say, yes, we're going to do the pier. And of course, then staff would have to determine, well, where we're going to get the money from, of course. We have some ideas of where we're going to get the money from. Our finance department has been consulting with, I think, our investment, whomever they consult with. And we've been consulting with our grant persons to find out if there are any grants that will be able to help us if the city commission decides that they want to go forth with the pier.
And the possibility, for grants, is for grants for actual construction, you usually have to have a design in place. There may be, but highly unlikely, grants for the design. So oftentimes, if there's a matching grant, you can use what you already spent in design as part of the match for the construction costs. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But oftentimes for construction, until you have the design and the plans in hand, you're not getting any kind of grant.
So we need city commission to create the program, so then we can pull money from the reserve to make the plan, to ask for the grants, to reimburse us for the plans to move forward with the construction.
Yeah, no reserves.
No reserves, yeah.
Not from the budget.
Yes,
From the
yes,
budget.
from the budget, Tim. Yeah.
Okay.
Does our city employ a grant writer? Do we have one? I know a lot of cities and
We have
organizations
a writer on contract.
on contract. Okay.
And in fact, she was responsible for getting the grants for the new fire station from DEP for environmental flood hardening grants. So.
That's good. So, want to just do board comments? Or is this about?
No, I
Okay,
just,
go ahead.
all right. Since John walks all over the city, maybe he can solve the question, who is putting kitty food?
I know.
Okay, oh, great, because it's showing up in my parking lot, and the male cats are up on top of some of the roofs, and they are, which means, and I don't know how long it takes, but we are going to have an explosion of kitty cats.
It's my neighbor across the street.
Oh, yeah.
Can we call this the start of board comments? And you can, yeah, I mean, since it's a different topic.
Yes,
You
yes.
can start board comments, so
Yes,
say,
yes,
is that
yeah.
everything you wanted to tell us about? That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Next, Tom.
With help, I get there.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple things here, a few things. Give me a second, look at my notes. So, Bike Week. I used to travel around doing motorcycle shows, so I'm pretty familiar with how they operate. And for whatever reason or not, our city doesn't put out porta potties. So I put out porta potties every year in the back of my property. I pay about $900, $1,000 to do so. And everybody from the back lot is directed from the business across the street to Goo's mine, because they only have one working bathroom. And then the parking lot attendants over there, they tell them to use my bathrooms. So I'm having to pay double cleaning and double extra this, that, or whatever. And there are no bathrooms on the street. None of the places that are businesses allow customers to go use their bathrooms. So my point is maybe the city for Biketoberfest looks into porta potties, because there is nowhere to go to bathroom once you get past Froggy's on my side of the street, there's really no place to go to the bathroom. And then once you get the other direction past Urban Soul, there's really nothing until you get to Main Street Station, right? So there's no bathroom facilities anywhere.
Yes.
Maybe a hand wash station. I mean, we have a lot of empty lots. We could have a city little area where it's just a porta potty center, kind of like they do at a rock festival or any of those other things. I think that would be tremendous for the area, because that's the number one complaint. I mean, I made a sign for it, and we made T-shirts and stuff. It's no purchase, no potty, no exceptions, because I will have a line out of my building with people that aren't buying anything, just want to use my facilities, use my toilet paper, use my hand soap, all those things. We're known as having one of the cleanest facilities on the street. We allow all police officers to use it. They use the back bathroom. They can strip down, get all their gear off, and go to the bathroom, take a break. But my point is there's nothing on the street for it. So I just recommend for next year's master plan looking at that. Then parking. So there were some frustrations with the parking that was brought up by some of the merchants. So the Peabody lot that's behind Dirty Harry's was closed with no cars in it. The other lot that is on North Wild Olive, that's also another lot, that was fenced off and said Peabody parking, and there was really no cars in it. The lot directly behind 35 Bistro had tents and all other kinds of stuff, city tents set up for the first time. They were all kind of set up and blocking parking there. So she didn't have any parking for her customers that were there. So that was a big deal for that, because those parking spaces are usually open. They did a good job this year of reopening the parking alongside Coates, because that last year was closed, and I brought that up, that was closed, and the chamber did a good job of getting that open again and charging for parking and having it all up and down Coates. But that's usually what we do down the road where Peabody is, and it goes into the parking lot. For whatever reason or not, this year they didn't allow that, and so that was a little weird. What else?
Tom, I'm sorry, have you spoken with Jeff Brown? Because they do a plan, they plan for this months in advance.
Sure.
And so if they
I have
had
not.
tents on Coates in that parking lot, they had planned to do that.
Yeah. So
as well as the bathroom facilities. I didn't know that we didn't provide any
There's never,
porta
no.
potties.
No,
Yes,
never.
yes. I want to add to that. I actually had some police come in and ask if they could use my bathroom, and of course, I do allow, that's part of it. But people said, what's with the city? There are no places for parking. I have the same problem. I have a hand washing, and I provide the trash cans and wipes, and of course, all the people that park on my parking lot have access to it. But people come off the sidewalks and just make a line into it. And the city should have porta potties. I mean, it's crazy that they have none that I am aware of.
Can I make a recommendation about that? So what I would suggest, I mean, you asked if you'd talk to Jeff Brown. I know that having been on the Bike Week Task Force, there's usually a wrap-up meeting after the event, and I don't know exactly when that is happening. Somebody at the chamber could tell you, but that's a great place to go. And like, you have the task force there, you usually have Rose, you have, Jeff Brown possibly. And that's a great place to bring that up, because you'll probably have a lot of people concur with you and, get it straight to the right people. So
Thanks. Yeah, that'd be great. Until, I don't know, 2 years ago, I had no idea that there was even a thing like that.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't ever informed of
I
it.
would recommend,
Yes,
and it'll happen soon, I think, because they're already starting to plan Biketoberfest, but they'll do so check with the chamber.
Vendors and what I call my Bike Week regulars were disheartened, I'll use that we didn't have the lights up like we did for Biketoberfest. They loved the lights in Biketoberfest. All the vendors told their friends and everybody that the lights would be up, and I didn't give that. They just had that perception. They thought in October those lights were for them. They thought that, and they were really excited about it.
What were they, Tom?
So the lights were for the Light Up Fest, where we did it all through Christmas. But they ended up going up in October early for the Christmas holiday. So my point is
There
were our Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But my point is that you go down Beach Street, every palm tree down the middle road of Beach Street has pretty lights on all the palm trees. Why can't we do something like that with our money on the CRA all year, where those are wrapped maybe with an LED light or something like that is low power, low resources, and can change color with the events.
We'll find out from Public Works
it kind of, I was like, oh man, so they just kind of made me sad.
Oh, so Angela just told me they took them down. They're not out there anymore.
They've been down about a month.
They probably won't put them back up until after the summer.
Yeah,
probably
they just took them down.
In October again.
October, yeah.
Maybe they legal next year.
Another weird process with Bike Week that I learned now that I'm a cemetery keeper, a treasurer and secretary there. We have to apply as a 501c3 for a banner permit, get on the Bike Week master plan, and do all kinds of wonky hoops. We had to pay $300 to put up banners. We had to go through 3 different processes to do it. I get it, but at the same time, to me it's a service. We allow, or you allow, however we want it, because it's a weird quasi relationship between the city and the cemetery. But all of the flower pots are stored in the cemetery for all the major events that we have on the street, so they all get put in there. We always get asked by like Matt Murphy from Public Works. Murphy, last name's Murphy. But anyway, we always get asked by him to put them in there. We always say, absolutely, get them in there, no problem. It was just a weird thing to have to go through all that process. And the only reason I found out about it is I said, I better go check at City Hall, because otherwise we were just going to do it. And so I went down to City Hall, and I went downstairs to permits, and I go, hey, is there a permit for this? And they go, no, we don't see any. It's your property. You can kind of do what you want. They go, you know what? You better call Rose. And so I called Rose, and Rose goes, absolutely not. You can't do it. It's too late in the year, blah, blah, blah. And I go, Rose, I'm just trying to, you guys always, I go, Rose, the guy that was here before me doing this role died in 2019. So I don't, so I get what she's saying, but at the same time, I'm doing the best I can. All I'm saying is I think that that's a little heavy-handed to allow us to put up some banners on the cemetery. I don't know if there's something we could look at. I mean, it's a completely volunteer organization that no one on the staff gets paid for anything. There's no staff, it's just volunteers. So to have a fee that beautifies something for the city, it's just an odd request, because we're trying to use that money to improve the cemetery. And so it just, I didn't want to argue about it. I just wanted to get it done. So we got it done this way this year, but maybe for future events, we could get a little hall pass on it, and that would be great. And then just again, reminder, April 12th, we're doing our cemetery cleanup again. This cemetery cleanup is going to be focused on fencing and painting. So that's what this one's going to be on. Again, all pro bono. I think I've got some people that are donating all the paint. I mean, I brought up the last one, but we probably saved over $100,000 in costs when we redid it in January. So tremendous community turnout. It's going to continue to be that way. And so just, keep an eye out for more events. Thanks.
Thank you. Gary? No? Tim? Nope. Laura?
A couple months ago, I think we talked about brochures. I think John mentioned that there were brochures for different parts of the city and that there wasn't one for Beachside. And I know that that's not on the list or anything, but how would we go about starting that process of putting together just the general, what is there to do on Beachside? Here's a brochure type of thing. So I just wanted to keep that I wanted to just keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
Michelle said the city commission has started that process. Yeah. So the city, you mean? Can you elaborate on the brochure that you're referring to? Is it for the businesses or just for what's happening in the area?
I was picturing it more of the generalization, there's the band shell and there's the walk, the more of versus it having to be updated every year for all the different events. It would be more of just what's the standard things to do on Beachside. But I looked for the other brochures out there today and I didn't see them, so I don't have anything to compare them to for what has already been made.
Yeah, we do something now with the downtown. We do brochures. DDA. CRA, it's a little tricky for us because based on the statute, we're not supposed to do marketing, believe it or not. So we have to figure out a way to do something that could help the businesses advertise or let the visitors know here where your locations are that you can go visit. That's something we'll talk about and see how we can figure out if there's a possibility of using some other source to do it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I guess last but least.
Yep. No, I'm last.
Well, I just, oh, that's right. Well, best come first. Okay. I just wanted to let the board know on Monday, March the 23rd at the Daytona Beach Entertainment District, which is the Community Foundation Lodge. is hosting the Birthplace of Speed Republican Assembly meeting at 400 East International Speedway Boulevard. The guest speaker will be Corey Mills, our state congressman, and he's going to be coming. Networking starts about 5:30. Meeting begins about 6:30. So if anybody wants to come, you got to RSVP because we've already got 75 people. And I just did it today. Thank you.
That it? Okay. So, the Bike Week Task Force, check with the chamber. Banners on the, considering the Pinewood Cemetery is city property, I mean, I understand they need to be permitted, so somebody could, you don't put up something horrible, but.
Quasi, it's not really city property.
Quasi, okay.
It's not really city property.
Quasi, all right. Well, I guess I don't understand it, but the money that you raise from the banners goes to the Pinewood Cemetery, correct?
The association, yeah.
The association, which takes care of all that. So, personally, I support that, permit fees either waived or reduced for you. And as far as the brochure, it comes to what you kind of want is maybe a threefold thing that people could have, somebody with a shop could have them, and it would also tell them, like I said, where's the band shell, maybe a little map, some ideas, and it doesn't have to be so specific that you have to change it all the time. The chamber or the CVB, these tourism, groups that do tourism may have funding for something like that. And I know they do, they have the website where you can go and see what to do in Daytona and, which hotels to go to and so on and so forth. But it might be an interesting idea to ask them for a brochure for the core tourist area of Daytona if we truly don't have one. Let's get them to, put their money in on it. So, and then that was it. That was it for me. So I guess we're done. I'll hit that.
I have a question since the meeting is over.